4 behaviors that silently sabotage your relationships. First, the abandonment test. If you find yourself deliberately creating emotional distance, rejecting connection attempts, or provoking conflicts to see if they'll stay, you might be enacting what therapists call abandonment testing. This pattern, rooted in early experiences of insecure attachment, leads us to repeatedly verify the solidity of the relationship, but paradoxically pushes away the very security we seek. Second, defensive hyperindependence. If you feel uncomfortable asking for help, minimize your emotional needs, or pride yourself on not needing anyone, you might be manifesting what attachment psychology identifies as defensive distancing. This pattern develops when we've learned that depending on others leads to disappointment, but neurologically prevents the formation of deep connections based on mutual vulnerability. Third, mind reading and unexpressed expectations. If you expect your partner to know what you want without having to say it, or negatively interpret ambiguous behaviors without asking for clarification, you're falling into what researchers call negative attribution. This cognitive bias leads us to fill in the blanks with our fears rather than reality, creating cycles of resentment based on unverified interpretations. Fourth, emotional regulation through conflict. If you notice that discussions in your relationship follow predictable patterns that rarely solve problems but serve to release emotional tension, you might be using conflict as an improper regulation tool. Research shows this pattern develops when we haven't learned more direct and effective ways to communicate deep emotional needs. The most surprising aspect of these patterns is their self-reinforcing nature. Each time we enact these behaviors, we unconsciously confirm our limiting beliefs about relationships, creating what psychologists call self-fulfilling prophecies. These behaviors aren't character flaws or deliberate choices, but adaptive strategies our brain developed in response to previous relational experiences. They were intelligent solutions in past contexts where our emotional needs weren't adequately met. What makes these patterns so persistent is that they operate through neurological circuits that activate automatically in moments of stress or vulnerability, precisely when a different approach would be more beneficial. It's as if the emotional brain takes command exactly when we would most need measured and conscious responses. Recognizing these patterns is the first fundamental step to interrupting them. The good news is that neuroplasticity allows rewriting even the most ingrained relationship models through repeated corrective experiences. Try this. The next time you find yourself in a moment of relational tension, stop and ask yourself, am I reacting to the present or to a script from the past? This simple moment of awareness can create space to respond differently. Remember that these patterns don't define who you are, but represent strategies you've developed to protect your heart. With awareness and practice, you can gradually replace them with more authentic and satisfying connection modalities. Follow me for more relationship advice.